The Nigerian army has recorded a major victory under Operation Hadinkai in Maiduguri. It successfully destroyed ISWAP terrorist camps and seizing a large cargo of weapons and ammunition in the northeast Borno state. The operation, carried out through coordinated ground and air offensives, led to the neutralization of several terrorists, the destruction of their logistics bases, and the recovery of arms intended for attacks on civilians and security forces. These actions have significantly weakened ISWAP's operational capacity in Borno State and surrounding areas. Operation Hadinkai continued to demonstrate the Nigerian military's resolve to degrade and dismantle terrorist networks that have inflicted untold suffering on innocent Nigerians. The seizure of weapons not only disrupts future attacks but also enhances the safety of local communities. While challenges remain, these victories reinforce confidence in the armed forces and underscore the importance of sustained military pressure, intelligence-led operations, and community cooperation. In ending insurgency in the northeast, the operation was triggered by credible, carefully verified intelligence reports. For days, information had gathered, movements were tracked, and hideouts were mapped out. Their routines were studied as well. When the signal finally came, there was no room for hesitation. Under the cover of darkness, Nigerian army troops advanced silently, navigating difficult terrain with discipline and precision, and their radios were kept low. During the operation, the Nigerian army troops recovered large quantities of bullets, ammunition, and military equipment from the destroyed ISWAP camps. They recovered items which include 7.63 mm and 12.7 mm rounds commonly used for AK-47 rifles and heavy machine guns, 7.62 mm NATO ammunition used for general-purpose machine guns, as well as belts of ammunition for sustained fire. Troops also seized empty and loaded magazines, RPG rounds, and grenades abandoned by fleeing terrorists. In addition to these weapons and ammunition, the troops recovered military-styled equipment such as camouflage uniforms, bulletproof communication radios, power banks, mobile phones, fuel containers, and other logistics supplies used to support terrorist operations. The seized weapons and equipment are now in military custody for further investigation and disposal. This operation has further strengthened security in Borno State and wider Northeast, offering relief to communities that have suffered years of insurgent violence. The operation also led to the complete destruction of several ISWAP terrorist camps used as operational bases in the area. The camps, which served as hideouts, training grounds, and storage locations for weapons and supplies, were overrun and dismantled by the troops. During the assault, structures within the camps were demolished and set ablaze to prevent their future use. Terrorist logistics hubs, makeshift shelters, and command points were destroyed as well, effectively denying the group safe havens in the region. The destruction of these camps has significantly disrupted ISWAP's ability to regroup, plan, attack, and launch operations, forcing surviving fighters to scatter and operate under pressure. This development has further reduced the threat posed to nearby communities and routes in Borno State and their wider northeast region. In recent weeks, residents of neighboring communities have been forced to flee their homes following repeated threats and intimidation by terrorists operating in the area. Fear of attacks, abductions, and violence compelled many families to abandon their houses in search of safety. The displacement of these residents highlights the severe humanitarian impact of terrorism as innocent civilians continue to bear the brunt of insecurity. It also underscores the urgency of ongoing military operations aimed at neutralizing the threat and enabling affected communities to return to their homes in peace. The recent successes recorded by the Nigerian army are expected to restore confidence among residents and create conditions for the safe return of displaced persons. As security continues to improve across the region, this outcome further reflects the effectiveness of intelligence-driven operations under Operation Hadinkai and the sustained pressure being applied on terrorist elements in Borno State and the wider Northeast region. Reacting to the successes of the operation, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu commended the Nigerian armed forces for their bravery, professionalism, and sacrifice in the ongoing fight against terrorism. The president also reaffirmed his administration's unwavering commitment to defeating insurgency, assuring the military of continued support in terms of resources, intelligence, and welfare. He stressed that the safety of Nigerians remained a top priority and that terrorist groups would not be allowed to undermine the nation's peace and unity. Similarly, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, retired, praised the troops involved in Operation Hadinkai for their discipline and effectiveness. He noted that the recent victories reflect improved intelligence, coordination, interagency cooperation, and operational readiness of the armed forces. General Musa reiterated that military operations will be sustained and intensified until all terrorist elements and sympathizers are neutralized and affected communities are fully secured. Both leaders emphasized that the fight against terrorism is entering a decisive phase with renewed determination to dismantle remaining insurgent networks and restore lasting peace to the northeast and other troubled regions of the country. Nigeria has continued to benefit from strong international support and cooperation in its fights against terrorism, particularly through a strategic partnership with the United States and other allies. This cooperation has been crucial in strengthening Nigeria's counter-terrorism effort at a time when terrorist groups remain adaptive and dangerous. The support from the United States has largely focused on intelligence sharing, military training, technical assistance, and capacity for Nigerian security forces. These areas of cooperation have helped improve surveillance and early warning system. It has also helped in overall professionalism of troops engaged in operations. In addition, Nigeria has received defense and security assistance through approved government-to-government framework. Such support is aimed at enhancing the ability of the armed forces to protect civilians and secure the vulnerable communities. All assistance is provided under strict regulations in line with Nigerian laws and international agreements to ensure accountability and responsible use. Beyond hardware and training, the partnership has also strengthened regional and multilateral cooperation, encouraging collaboration among countries in the Lake Chad Basin to tackle terrorism as a shared security threat rather than an isolated national problem. Nigerian authorities have consistently emphasized that international cooperation does not replace local responsibility, but rather complements Nigeria's own military strategy, intelligence, capability, and political will. The goal remains clear: to dismantle terrorist networks and cut off their sources of support and restore lasting peace and stability to affected regions. This sustained international backing reflects global recognition that Nigeria's fight against terrorism is not only a national struggle, but a critical part of broader efforts to ensure regional and international security. This is Impact Media. Don't forget to subscribe and like this channel. Thank you for listening.